go through.
Good morning. I have Mr. Santosh Kumar with me. He's a very passionate mountain climber, and we are happy to have him with here right now. And we'll have a quick discussion with him to know more about his passion and his mission. Good morning, Santosh.
Hi, good morning. Nice to meet you.
Tell us more about your passion. How did you get into mountain climbing and pursue it as such an interesting hobby?
Well, about a few years back, I did my first climb. It was a trek.
Okay.
Not a very difficult trek, by
Where
all
exactly
means,
is it?
but it's Mount Rinjani in Indonesia.
Okay.
But at that point of time, I could barely even run 2 kilometers. So, and when I did that, it was about a 3-day trek.
Okay.
When I started off, I took it as any other adventure, but when I was doing the trek, it was one of the hardest things I'd done. As I completed the trek, we didn't actually make it to the summit. I realized I had actually accomplished a lot more than what I imagined I could. And it actually changed my perspective in life. It helped me drive myself further and further and helped me have bolder dreams. And since it helped me in my personal life, I started pursuing climbing a bit more, and I enjoyed that personally. And eventually, I've come here where I'm.
What are the other few treks or climbs that you have done?
See, some of the significant ones I've done is Kilimanjaro in Africa. That's Africa's highest. Mont Blanc, which is Europe's highest. I've done Kota Kinabalu in Malaysia. That's the Southeast Asia's highest. I've done something called Choyu, which is one of my biggest achievements. It's the world's 6th highest mountain. It's about 8,200 meters, about 600 meters short of Everest. And in February, I'm going to climb Mount Cook in New Zealand.
Now, how do you find to manage your trekking or climbing activity among your such a busy corporate life?
It was tough before, when I was fully incorporated into the corporate life. At that point of time, I would have to save up every single holiday I get and all the money I get and spend it all on climbing. Of course, once I quit in March, it was a complete relief in terms of having the time, because not in terms of the cash. So yeah, I did a lot more climbing after I quit my job. So it is hard with a job and to do the climbing.
Now that you mentioned the cost aspect, can you tell us how expensive it is to climb an Everest? Like, what are the various cost components involved, or why it is so expensive?
An Everest trek can be anywhere between, one of the cheapest would be about $35,000 to about $70,000. And the biggest factor in that is the Nepal climbing permit, and that's about $10,000. And apart from that, you get immense amount of Sherpa support. They're very high altitude, good climbers, one of the best in the world. And then you get an expedition team to support you through the expedition for 65 days. And then you get the guiding support, you get the weather support. Pretty much they'll do the thinking for you. So that's where most of the cost goes in. And the difference between a 33 and a 70 is about the safety effects, about the weather information that you get, and the kind of good quality guiding support you get.
You're also supporting the child sexual abuse cause, right? And can you tell us why exactly you chose this particular cause?
Well, I wanted to climb for a cause, and the reason is because I realized that from when I'm climbing Mount Everest, especially, it's not very common, something that happens every day in South India. So I thought, well, it'll definitely have an impact, or it'll create some sort of an awareness. I could use that to create an awareness about a particular cause. I picked particularly child sexual abuse because I realized that is a problem that is one of the most rampant problems in India, especially, and it's one of the least talked about issue, but possibly because it's a taboo topic, also because the knowledge of the problem is very limited. So I picked a cause like that, so that I can create awareness on that using my clients.
How do you think people can help you with this in terms of support or finance or other aspects?
Well, there are a few ways. One of the ways is that I'm actually taking a banner to the top of Mount Everest, and that banner is going to be a collage of images. Now, anybody, individuals like yourself, can upload an image for a fee. It's as low as $50, and I will take that banner and photograph it at various levels in the Himalayas and on top of Everest. So that's one way to contribute, and part of that contribution will go towards the cause. Now, we're also running a few campaigns for child sexual abuse. So one of it is We Are Children, wearechildren.org. You can go visit that, and we're trying to map a few stories of child sexual abuse cases, and then create more awareness in terms of how the situation is in India. As part of the campaign, we're also starting something called millionpledges.com, where you can go and put your pledge. That should be active in about a week or so. Apart from that, I'm looking for corporate sponsorships in terms of the climb.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys have any contacts in terms of contact or ideas in terms of how to raise funds, that'll be fantastic. And just merely in terms of supporting the blogs and online social media aspects like Facebook would be very helpful.
Tell us about your training and other preparations that you're doing for the climbing the Everest.
Well, just yesterday, I was in. I mean, I don't train much in Chennai, but then I was in at home in Roypeta.
Okay.
I came out and I decided that I was going to run to Marina Beach, and then I just came out of the house and I decided something. Maybe I should just go to my friend's house in Anandnagar, and I just ran all the way there. It was about 15-16 kilometers. So yeah, I mean, I do a fair bit of running, cycling, climbing stairs, which is toughest and probably the most boring because it's enclosed in any space. So, and that's almost every day. So I would mix around the aerobics in mornings and evenings in terms of cycling, running, and staircase climbing. And in the afternoons, at least 3 times a week, I would go to the gym and do muscle building exercises, core building exercises. And weekend will always be a long cycle or a long run.
Most of us have seen Everest only in pictures. Now, how exciting it is when you go so close? Or how far we can go, ordinary people can go in the Everest? Is it still base camp or?
I'm an ordinary person and I'm planning to go all the way to the summit. So anybody can go to the summit, but it's quite a lot of people. It's common for people to take the Everest base camp trek.
Okay.
Now the base camp is almost at the height of Kilimanjaro. It's about 5,500 meters. So you can take the trek, and I'm only up to that point that you can go with the trekking shoes without any physical climbing.
Okay.
And that is something that would probably take you about 10 days, 10 to 12 days, and you should be able to go there. And Everest, as such, is not one of the most beautiful looking mountains, because in the Himalayas there are very beautiful mountains. Ama Dablam is one of the most beautiful mountains, but it has its own charm. It is the highest, it's a mighty mountain. And
was there any close to that situations in your past climbing experiences? Anything that's so dangerous or?
Fortunately not. I mean, there was a time, I mean, in Choyu when I was coming down, and I was so exhausted that I almost like knelt down just to take a break, and then I put my elbows down, and next thing I know, somebody is tapping me on my shoulders and going, "Hey, wake up, you've been out sleeping for almost 10 minutes. I didn't even realize that, and that was quite dangerous because I was walking down a steep mountain. Apart from that, I have been lucky not to be facing any close-to situations, but of course on Choyu we saw a couple of people that were sick, and especially, and also there was a very publicized case of a US senator's husband, congresswoman's husband, that passed away, and actually in fact we saw him come up while we were coming down from the summit. So yeah, it's just tough, it's crazy situations on the mountain high up.
Any other message or anything else you want to convey to the readers?
Well, just visit www.climbeverestwithme, Mr. W, www.climbeverestwithme.com, wearechildren.org, and thefuturemillionpledges.com. So support and go online, follow the progress, and tell more people about this. Cheers.
Thanks a lot for your time, Santosh.
Thank you.